Kenyans, observations on how this thing called Gen Z demonstrations or protest, how it started and how it's going and what it really is. One, I'll describe what we've experienced in Kenya as protest or demonstrations. We've had demonstrations led by the professional cadres in Kenya who are civil servants, the medics, teachers, lawyers, and others. Their demonstration, their protest, it never turns violence. There are no tear gas. People do go to work as normal and as usual, and they do demonstrate longer than any other demonstration ever held in the Republic of Kenya. Medics could demonstrate for 30 days. Teachers could do it for 30 days. And you hardly would notice a shift in security, a shift in how things work in the city or across the country, because it's largely a peaceful protest, a peaceful demonstration, and they normally have an end game. They normally have a document, a CB, a negotiation, some form of negotiations with the government, and that is how they normally finish their demonstrations. Second type of demonstration is one led by a political party, like the one that Raila Odinga has been leading, which I've been part of for the longest time. The Raila Odinga demonstrations, they normally have an end game as well. They do turn sometimes, well, let me just say most of the time they become a bit violence. Because of the magnitude and the snowball effect that it takes. But the beauty and how Raila Odinga used to manage and control the crowds was that we would move from point A, go through a certain road, and end up in either at Uhuru Park or some grounds to talk to the people, and the government would hear us speak. Now, let me come to the Gen Z one. The Gen Z one, I think, is an equivalent of Mungiki. It is. You cannot describe it any other way. One, it does not have an end game. Raila Odinga's one had an end game. It had a pursuit. It had a negotiation with the government, how life could get better. The Gen Z one does not have one, does not have an end game. It started as the Finance Bill of 2024. It went to Ruto Must Go. Now it is one term. I don't know what else it will become. And it has become an excuse to loot, to kill, and blame the government, an excuse to vandalize, stop the country, and bring it to a halt and to a stop. And Gen Z mandamanos or demonstrative protest, they were a good thing, but slowly they're taking us back to the Mungiki era, whereby they are largely from a section of the country. They are largely allied to certain leaders of certain communities in the country. And if you look, the anger, the bitterness, the animosity, it's got nothing to do with issues. It's all about personality and anger and bitterness of people who feel they were denied something in the government. Raila Odinga one was never like that. The demonstration and protest by the professional cadres is never about that. It's always to deal with an issue that outlives them. Raila Odinga, Mandamano, all of them, they've always had to deal with an issue. Electoral justice, reforms, constitutional reforms, such like things. The Gen Z ones, they don't have an end game. They don't have anything they're going after. All they want is blood and more blood and more blood and ban the country, destroy it, loot. That is the Gen Z Mandamano. And I'm meant to believe that. As much as people are saying the president is taking us back to the dark days of Moi, I think this Gen Z thing is taking us back to the days of Mungiki, the days when, because yesterday after this protest, every road, the main ones, Waiyaki Way, Ngong Road, Langata, Mombasa Road, Thika Road, all of them, youths came out and barricaded those roads with stones, and motorists had to pay a fees to go to where they were going to, where we headed to. During Raila Odinga Mandamanos, that never happened. When the professional cadres have their protests, nothing like that happens. The government must swing in swift, and bring down this cartel. And also unveil who's behind these Gen Z Mandamanos, because there has to be someone who's printing these flags. There has to be someone who's printing this